Ongoing training of employees is an aspect of many successful companies. Well-prepared operators are more likely to perform to a company's required standards, and they're less likely to make mistakes or suffer from acute or chronic injury.
It's all about teaching them the correct way of doing their job, so we teach them all aspects of doing their job correctly, but obviously knife sharpening is a vital part of what they're going to do on the side here. Health and safety is obviously big, so we've got a project, was a project called Aura. Now we just run Aura as part of our everyday business. So it's all about people providing the tools that everyone can do their job safely. And part of Aura, we have a thing called mates helping mates, so that everyone works together as a team so that your workmate goes home safely as well.
How's it going, Karen? All right? How you been going, all right?
All our sites have got knife sharpeners. Some of the smaller sites, obviously, it's very hard to have a full-time knife sharp 100% of the time, but on our bigger sites, Errol and that's their sole focus is getting around, training people, making sure that they're doing their job correctly.
Try that and see how it goes, okay?
We normally try and teach people to do it right, but everyone forgets things or they try to get smart and they try and cut corners. So part of these knife sharpener role is to actually get out there with the people continuously and always looking to help them improve. And that could run over many years.
Hi guys, we're just going to go through a bit of the knife training today that we do here. What we're doing first on the setter is creating a feather on the knife by pushing it from the back of the blade over the cutting edge, okay? Once we've made a feather by these edges coming together, then we turn that over and take that feather off, okay? We remove the feather. I'm going to go do a little demo here in a minute to show you. And then we do the finishing strokes. And it's most important, and probably this is all you need to do each day, are these finishing strokes, which are full sweeps coming from the cutting edge towards the back of the blade, okay? Some people think that you push away to make a knife sharp. No, you come from the cutting edge back, from the cutting edge back, the same as your steeling. The steeling goes from the cutting edge towards the back of the blade. Now, when you come off the setter, your knife will be fairly sharp, okay? Well, it should be, if you follow those procedures that we've just shown you. It's certainly sharp enough to cut paper, but not sharp enough to do the work we want to do with the knife, okay? And that's where your steel comes in to finish it off. So we're going to steel it at an angle that is slightly wider than the bevel. So that's what we've got to practice a little bit. When you get it right, you'll feel it on the bevel or a little bit wider than the bevel. You'll be able to feel it, and that's about all the strokes you will need. As I'll show you what happens if we do get our steeling wrong, okay? So that time I wasn't steeling very well, was I? Okay. She's not quite as good, is it? You can still cut with it, you can still do your job, but you're not going to be able to do it as well, and you're going to start hurting after a while, and that's what we're trying to avoid. What we're trying to do here is get those two bevels to come together, and we've found that it works best with about 15 degrees per side, giving you an angle of 30 degrees. That gives your knife some strength on that cutting edge, okay? But it's also narrow enough and fine enough to have a very good cutting edge. So that's what we're trying to do there when I'm coming backwards like that, creating a small bevel on the knife, okay? So we do one side until it burrs over, turn it over, and do the other side to make the other bevel the same, okay? Once you get the bevels to come together and they start to burr over, you know then that you're going to have a sharp knife. Because all you've got to do then is take that burr off the knife. So then we go round and round and round like that each side, taking off that little burr. Once you've got this bevel developed, then we do our sharpening strokes the same as we did on the setter, from the cutting edge towards the back of the blade. Now, you have to practice this and get it right so that the 15 degrees stays the same the whole way. It takes a little bit of practice to get it right. Mechanical sharpeners are good for putting the bevel back on, but it's not going to get it anywhere near sharp enough for what we want to do. It's okay for at home cutting your tomatoes. Just another training aid we use to get those angles correct is we look in the mirror at your angles and you're saying, hey, I haven't got one of those pins on my knife at home. So what I'll do for you is show you a little trick. Just put the old pen on the knife, have a look in the mirror, and that'll show you your angles.
Knife cuts used to be one of the biggest injuries that you had, but now everyone's gone to cut-resistant gloves. So now strains and sprains have really shown out as an industry-wide issue that we've got to get on top of. And of course, using knives, you've got to have a sharp knife so that you don't get those strains. So we've seen that those that actually, by teaching people, that helps that.
Awesome.
Need a nice sharp knife to get the meat off the bone as well. So it's all about yield, so the companies can make money, which obviously goes back to the farmers. You know, we need to get meat in cartons. You know, helps buy the meat or pay for the carcasses. Meat in the on the floor or it's still on bone. That doesn't help anyone. So a nice sharp knife helps do that, and it also helps get the customer what they want at the end of the day.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.